Hello, listeners. Welcome back to the Dream Stream. I am Yiskah Koock here with Ellen Ronis to work on dreams together. Hello, Ellen.
Hi, Yiskah. Hello, everybody. Nice to be
Did you
back.
have good holidays?
Uh, I had sort of sad holiday, actually. My friend,
Oh,
my friend was supposed to come from California, from San Diego, and her flights got canceled, and they just
okay.
Southwest, and there was this
Yeah.
whole
Oh, she was Southwest. Oh, they're still struggling with figuring that
yeah.
out.
Right. So there were no flights for like 3 days. They weren't even rescheduling till 3 days out. So she just didn't come. So I
Oh,
had,
I'm sorry to hear that.
cleared my schedule and had all this stuff planned and, bought things for her. And so it
Yes.
was so disappointing. Oh my gosh. However, the silver lining is that I had a week that I didn't have to work and do anything.
That's
So
great.
doing my best to relax, which I do not do well.
And you're still having it.
I'm still having it.
Yay.
I have a day off. I'm working tomorrow. I have a few sessions tomorrow.
Okay.
Back to it, but yeah.
Good.
So, yeah. How about you? Holidays?
I went to my sister's in White Plains, and her husband is an Italian man, so they did a big Christmas Eve dinner and then a Christmas Day. Her sons are both in college now, so no Santa. There was no Santa Claus and
Uh-huh.
leaving, carrots out for the reindeer. But because my youngest is almost 13, and my sister said, "Does he still believe?" And I'm like, I don't know that he ever did, but he played. Maybe he did. Well, I never lied, but I
Mhm.
also found a way to speak about it where he wouldn't go to school the next day and like tell all his friends, my mom is sad. Nothing like
Right.
that.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. But I had a lovely time. I saw many friends, my sister's friends. And thank you for asking.
Yeah. Cool. Holidays. It's so
Holidays,
sad, right? A mixed bag of
mixed bag it
I always
is.
feel like there's and maybe this is an interesting sort of dream symbology. It's kind of like the scales a little bit of like the real joy, the actual real heart joy, of
Yes,
being with your people, like your whatever, your friends, your
absolutely. Absolutely.
family, your family, your
Your
family, your
family, your friends who are your family. I like
family.
that. Is that what you said? Your family. I love that.
Yeah. So, and that's really joyful. And then there's also the expectations that that's going to be something that it isn't always
Right.
true,
Right.
or,
Yeah.
you spend a lot of
Yeah.
time
There
alone, which
was
is
there was definitely that. But yeah, and so I always think with a new year coming, New Year's Eve,
Mhm.
this weekend, I always think that I'll be interested in what is the dream I have on New Year's Eve. But then I also give it 3 days into the new year or whatever. One could give it 7 days into the new year to just see if one can incubate a dream to just get information from the universe about, what will be coming for me in 2023.
Mhm.
And I definitely look forward to that with you, Ellen.
Yeah.
But I wanted to also talk about New Year's resolutions at
Mhm.
some point in this podcast. But firstly, you said you have a dream, and I wanted to open up the space to you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And yeah, I love, I kind of hate New Year's resolutions for the obvious reasons.
I know, I
Right.
know. I haven't made one in about 3 years.
But there's one thing that I do before I go into the dream, I do want to say I did this last year, and now I'm hearing a lot of people doing this, is picking one word. Just pick a word. So last year I did a meditation with somebody who's just I didn't know this person, and somebody said, "Oh, she's cool. Like do this with me." And I went online and did a meditation with her, and whatever. She was
Yes,
lovely.
yes,
He did this thing about picking a word, but it was picking the word from your heart. So like it wasn't just
yes,
randomly thinking, "Oh, I want this year to be like this."
yeah.
It was like what came up. And I had completely forgotten about this word, but I went back in my journal, and the word was, it was a phrase, pull forth is what came. It just came to me. I didn't know what it
Oh,
meant. I didn't know what I meant,
wow.
but I wrote it down and I was like, I'm going to go with this.
I'm
And
gonna pull forth.
and I pulled forth that.
Yes.
I really
High
did.
five.
Yeah, thank you. I really did. I really did.
That's
And
great.
so, many, many ways. And so I feel like, okay, that's kind of interesting. So that's a thing that we can play with. Anyway.
The last year, I might have even, I think it was more than one, maybe the last 3 years, really the last year. I didn't make a New Year's resolution. I was just done with that. The
Mm-hmm.
whole,
Yeah.
wishful thinking.
Yeah.
But, I had a really hard year.
Mhm.
So, so, so
Yeah.
I do actually have three for this
Uh-huh.
year.
Yeah. Well, and maybe we can just look at them differently. So, if,
Okay, yeah,
shall we, I'll just kind of do the dream and then we can maybe
yeah,
riff on that a little because I think that's really significant and important to do.
yes, I think so too.
All right. Well, I had two dreams. And let's see, they were about a week ago. Actually, I had one on Christmas Day morning and then one like a few days before that. And I didn't necessarily incubate, like ask, pray for some guidance about something
Yes,
specific. It was just what came. And in fact, last night I actually sort of had a little moment of, please show me some clarity, and I didn't get anything.
okay,
So anyway,
yes,
maybe it's because I'm still chewing on these couple of dreams.
yeah,
Um, so the one I had about a week ago was this woman that I used to work with as a client, an older woman who lived in Rosendale, actually, kind of a prominent person in the upstate New York area, who was a client. I dreamt that she was dead, which she is not, in waking life. But I was seeing her and I was like talking to her. And I realized I had parked my car next to her car in this big old parking lot. And her car was this old car from like the 50s, like one of those big giant round sort of, I don't know, whatever, Chevy. I don't know.
sedan or whatever.
Yeah, they're very big and rounded, sort of shaped in those
Yeah,
days.
you have like the tails.
Yeah, kind of like I didn't have that, but whatever. It was that
Okay.
type of a car.
Yes,
And
yes.
it was a convertible, so I could see everything. And it was very sort of
Okay.
run down and sort of dusty and dirty, and it was kind of broken down looking. Um, and I parked my car right next to hers, and it felt like it represented her, like that she was kind of old and broken down. It's kind of funny. I don't know why I would dream about her, but then this guy Theo, he's my pottery teacher actually. Um, he came out and he had like, this is not what he looked like in real life. He had this shoulder length thick hair. He's very short hair in real life, but he had thick long
Interesting.
hair. And he jumped into the car and kind of like took off. And it turned and it felt sort of like this woman was his mother somehow, like that was their relationship. Not at all in waking life because they are from completely different parts of the world, completely like different parts of my life. So that one. And then the second one was that I
But
was,
can we pause and
yeah,
just say like immediate things that came about
totally.
that dream? And
That's
then,
probably a better idea. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, as regular listeners know, we often go through like a little system of beginning to look at a dream, but we can just jump right in if you're okay with that, with
Totally.
projections.
Mhm.
So I also was seeing the car as emblemic of her physical body, in that it was older and broken down, and its heyday was maybe in the 50s. And I also, one of the things our dream teacher, Robert Moss, asks when we do a reality check is, did this happen, or could something happen? Did something happen, or could something happen? So I just when he talks about often our dreams are foretelling. So I'm a little concerned if it's my dream about
Mhm.
this woman, and but I'm also glad to see, well, so the potter So he's my pottery teacher. So he has taught me this whole new enriching art form that I hadn't been doing before. And so perhaps it's making me feel I wish there was some way I could help this woman to find enrichment if this truly is towards the end of her life. It's just sort of grasping for the little whispers.
Yeah. 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 And I guess if I pardon me, if I look at it, if she is a part of myself, like something
Right.
that's aging.
Yeah, very good.
And interestingly, like he was younger than himself. He's my age.
Okay.
Maybe somewhere around my age. But he had this long, thick hair, like very straight across, like thick hair, almost like a teenage boy, like who just didn't want to cut his hair, kind of thing.
The
But he was.
Ramones.
It was just like it was like me, something like a younger version of this creative thing, a younger version of this creative moment,
Yes.
inhabiting, right? Because he jumps into the car.
Yeah.
He's inhabiting this young creative something, like a younger creative part of myself is wanting to inhabit the old shell, the old way of moving forward, at least in the dream. I think really what I would like to do is shed the old way altogether. But the first is that we just try to inhabit at least what was, and maybe try to like reinvent it, take off, go speed off, and pardon me.
I'm so sorry.
No, that's okay. That's how it is, you got things going on there. So
right.
something like injecting something younger, like and creative.
Is that how pottery makes you feel? That it has injected my life as dreamer with younger creative enthusiasm. I mean, just trying to think of what qualities of being younger.
Well, younger and also like if I really, exactly. Like fresh, like new, like, excuse me. I think just, like a fresh perspective, something that gives you like a little rush, right? Like a new thing.
Yes.
And I know that that's kind of important to me with an ADHD brain that I have.
Yes.
Not that I need to label that myself, whatever, but
keep me interested.
there is an
things.
actual brain thing about that where you are sort of I forget exactly this, so I'm going to have to really look at the science of this because I'm going to start to really work with people who have this.
Yes.
But there is something about like we don't get enough dopamine. Our dopamine receptors or something are like sleepy, and so we're constantly we can have dopamine, we can get it, but we need to kind of feed it often. And so it's why I come from one thing to the next and get finish people's sentences because it's like I got it.
I don't have time.
I don't have time for this. Come on, I got it. Excite me, entice me.
Interest me.
Yeah, I mean, that's the extreme version. I don't, I certainly.
Of course, sure. This is an exaggeration of.
Yeah, but anyway, getting back to the dream, like I guess there's something about when I think about, him in the dream with that hair. I think like I had hair like that actually. It was long and it was just straight across, because we didn't have style back. There was no such thing as like whatever fancy
and we
style.
were coming off of the hippies.
Yeah,
like their style of straight.
Like right, exactly. And so that was kind of it. And my hair was, wavy and thicker, and it was just it did have sort of look, So in a way, I could see that was a part of myself. But why was it him? Interesting why it was him. I don't know. I mean, I like him as a person. I like his operation that he has in his pottery studio. It's a really sweet, cool setup. Like it's just simple. It's nothing special really in a way, but it is special. I always felt like it was
Wow.
like home for me. It was a home
Yes.
for a while. Like
Yes.
I haven't been going, you know,
Okay.
a variety of reasons for the last year or so, but it was really felt
Maybe
like,
I'm also being told if I want to tap into this younger part of myself, I should go.
mm, mm. Well, I just had another thought about this other woman, the older woman.
Yes.
I don't know why in my psyche picked her exactly, but if I'm an older person and I want to do this, but my actual body is a little concerned about doing this physical work.
Yes.
So it's like the part of me that feels older is not sure whether or not I could push around, 5 pounds of clay anymore because of
Oh,
I have some injuries from my bodywork practice,
yeah.
some
Okay.
fairly chronic things in my arms and shoulders and wrists and stuff.
Yes.
It's not debilitating, but it does make it harder to do things like,
Yes.
and I've
Absolutely.
been a little scared actually to go back into the studio because I was afraid that I wasn't going to be able to do some things. So, I wonder if there's something of that in there.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
my older body, is it going to be able to do that thing that the younger person could do? And maybe
Yes.
with my aging and
I
um
think that the stream might be telling me, because if we look at cars, the way another of our dream teachers, Jeremy Taylor, says, cars are, who's in the car is about relationships, and who's driving is significant. And so if this is my dream and he gets into the driver's seat to, drive out this old car, that's telling me that I need to talk to him about it. He's driving. I need to ask him what is your opinion, and just open up that discussion, because he's driving. And if I really want to be a potter, maybe he has something he could offer me, or is
mm-hmm,
and anyway, I think people really appreciate having their opinion asked when something is their expertise. You know?
mm-hmm,
Oh, and
mm-hmm,
people really appreciate that. I don't know how
mm-hmm.
many people have done this, but often, or every time I go to the hairdresser, I'm like, just, I don't want it to grow out like a pyramid. I say a couple things and say, just do your thing. Let them do it, because they're the
Yeah.
artists, the hair
Oh my
artists.
God. That's good for you. I'm like the opposite.
Ah,
So controlling. I'm like,
oh
"No,
really?
don't do that because I know that's not going to look good."
Ah,
I finally found a wonderful person who is,
okay.
we laugh about it and she's so,
Yes.
so cool. She likes that. She likes that I know what I want.
Similarly on a dating website, and they say, and what are you looking for in a man? And I said, he should just be whoever he is. He should
Uh-huh.
just be confident in himself. I don't even think I wrote the confident word. That's hard for some people as well.
Yeah.
And so many people responded to that.
Yay.
I think guys were blown
Good to
away. You
know.
can be whoever you are. She doesn't have any expectations of me,
Right. She doesn't need me to be like rich and handsome and blah, blah,
tall and
blah. Yeah.
muscular, whatever.
I
But I
mean,
mean, yeah.
yeah.
So I think people appreciate that. They always say that King Arthur tale of Grendel. Grendel is a witch, and one of King Arthur's nephews, Gawain, um, she says to him, tell me what women want, and he goes around the countryside to find out what women want. And it isn't until the end of like saying jewels, money, whatever women would want. And then the answer, and he gets the answer and he tells it to the witch, is women want sovereignty. They want to
Ah.
be able to make their own decisions. They want,
Ooh, I just got chills from that. Yes.
yeah, yes, yes.
And still be loved.
And yeah,
And
exactly.
still be loved. Like,
Yeah,
yeah, like it doesn't do anything to your masculinity that I want to make my own decisions.
yes,
Right. I mean,
yeah,
that's an old fashioned kind of thing that I have in the back of my head about that.
yes,
You know,
yes,
is it
right.
I'm going to insult somebody's masculinity somehow if I stand up strong or speak for my, how I am, just
Great,
what I
great.
am.
I love that line in that Marianne Williams poem where she says, I'm paraphrasing, when you shine your light, you allow other people to
Yes.
shine their light.
Right. And she
Right.
says, when we ask ourselves, who am I to shine my light? It's like, who are you
Exactly.
not to shine
Who
your
are you
light?
not to shine your light? Because it gives other people permission to
Exactly. And
reciprocate.
we're all light, right? There's, in this process of creating a course online that I've been
Yes,
in the
yes,
last few months, um, I've been learning that, like really learning that really in my own heart and soul, like that
yes,
everyone, we can all be experts at something. We don't
yes.
necessarily need another, degree or another license. And no one is really that much better than you are about, and it's just what they put out. It's what they,
Yeah,
we can
yeah,
all do that, and we all have some little light and some little gift. And
yeah, I agree. So, Ellen, you did your Dance the Dream
yeah,
workshop. How was that for you?
thank you so much for asking. I think it was, I liked it. I liked doing it. My first line of thinking about things when I put myself out there is like, what could I do differently next time? Like, what could I do
Yes,
better? And
yes,
a friend encouraged me to ask myself what was fun about it. What did I like about it?
love
And I'm
it.
like, oh, right. I could ask
That's
myself.
great.
That's a good question. But
Yes,
I did
very.
enjoy it. One of the things I enjoyed was just bringing community together. People who there was only one person I didn't know, which was lovely to have a new fresh energy. And yeah, it was good. It was really good. I'd like to do more. I do see some things that I could maybe do a little bit differently. Um, but I really liked it. I really would like to do more with that. It's a little bit hard. I don't want to say hard. It's a little bit like something, a little challenging to
Sure.
do like movement based work online.
Yeah, I could see
Not
that.
like it's not like yoga where you just set up the camera and you're on the
Yeah,
floor and in your positions and things like that.
yes,
It's like everybody, as everybody is moving, and so sometimes people move away from the camera, and that's
yes,
fine. I would
yes,
encourage that.
yes,
Um, it's just a little bit because it is about I'm witnessing people moving, and
yes.
so
That's challenging.
but it worked, and I would actually like to do more of the movement part.
Wonderful. I felt like the people's accolades after were so good and informative. I would like each of them to write a little paragraph and use the best ones as, promo for my next gig.
Uh-huh. Yeah, yes. And I did have a conversation with one of my friends who was in the class, and she actually said a lot of things that
Yes.
were great. And I was thinking to do like a survey, just sending out a quick survey, because I
Oh,
don't want to
good.
like they have to kind of conjure up how they felt, how it was, because
Oh, that's a good idea.
just to say, hey, 3 to 5 questions.
Yeah.
What was good? I don't know what was good. What would you like to see more of?
Yes.
I don't know. I'm not sure what, but just like a quick little survey. And I should do it soon, because you should do it soon after the event, because otherwise it's
Yes.
yeah.
So, yeah, and maybe that's a place to ask their opinion of being filmed. If you
Yes, yes, I did.
in that survey,
My friend actually asked me if I had recorded it so that I could look back and see, and I was like,
right,
unfortunately, I didn't.
right.
'Cause, but that's okay. And
But that's totally okay.
the thing is I realize that we film here, and you put this on YouTube, and
Yes.
I didn't necessarily say, hey, you could sure, go ahead. But
Oh, oh, I do this.
I don't mind, but
I do this.
like, no, yeah, of course I do. But at the beginning, I really didn't. And I was like, oh gosh, there I am on YouTube.
Oh, I didn't realize that was years ago. That was years ago.
I'm just saying that, it happens where,
Yeah,
but I'm not putting that on YouTube. It's
right,
still private, the
right.
video for
Yes,
myself.
yeah, okay,
Not
right.
going.
So that would be if you're just gonna be watching it for yourself, unless you're gonna be using it or part of it for promo, but I mean,
Exactly.
you'll figure it all out.
I always ask for, of course, I would never do that
Yes,
without asking. Yeah.
yes,
Um,
it's very
anyway,
exciting.
so yeah, so I think, I'm hoping it's kind of like the start of something. And, the bigger course that I've been working towards is, it's not exactly that, but it was a good practice in a way. It was a good
Yes,
practice run to see, you know, how I do things, and how I, need to prepare, or need to just, trust myself to be in the moment
yes.
with things.
Both of those things, we learned as teachers, well, I teach little ones, but prepare everything, prepare for your lesson and be willing to let it all go and be present and spontaneous with the
Yeah.
kids.
I think that's always true. Like when you're,
Yeah.
when you're doing,
Yes.
and that was the one thing that I think I could do better for myself, is to trust myself,
Yes.
to say, sink into a meditation instead of, I did have it all written out, and that's okay. But I also
Yes.
recognize that I would have been able to sink deeper in if I was really more in it myself, and not reading it. So, um,
Yes. Yes.
anyway, see, we have 10 minutes left. So is there anything that you would like to share, or what shall we
Well,
do?
yes, I would. I'm really a little distracted because of
I see
what's
that.
happening in the house right now. And just my beloved Jessica. So I am I'm gonna not talk about that, but what I did want to talk about is, my nightly meditation, where I have a prayer cathedral. I've spoken about that a lot on this podcast with you and also with Brendan, our beloved deceased dream worker friend.
Mhm.
Um, so what I realized, I can't believe it took me this long to realize I'm learning new things every night that I do this meditation visualization. So everything is like what I learned last night. It's like up to the minute, it's always fresh and it's always new. What I learned maybe 2 nights ago is I have no business being in the realm with my counsel, my deceased loved ones, their counsel. I had been after the prayer cathedral, I had been in my mind. Um, I had this whole mantra, and then I this um, reciting of the names of God, and then I ended up in the sun, and that's where my counsel is. And it finally occurred to me, I I have no business being up there in their space. Like I'm with the living. They're here for me, but I
Mm.
shouldn't be there with them. And that was like blew my mind. And so instead of that whole leg of my manifestation journey, I realized I need to just stay in that prayer cathedral and really put my time and energy there. So that was new for me. And I don't know yet what have I learned from that. I think, right? I mean,
Hmm.
life is for the living. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I have a little, I don't know, I feel like riffing on that a little bit.
Peace.
I feel like instead of going, it reminds me of, somebody once said to me, like, it feels like you don't trust that your light is shining enough, that people, lovers or friends or whatever, will come to you, will find you, that you always feel like you have to go out and look for them, like as if you
Yes.
enough, kind of. And it almost makes me feel like that, like you're going to them instead of
Right.
being in the cathedral where they're
I
is,
love it.
right?
Right.
So
Let them be
let them
above
come,
and in another plane of existence.
ask them to come to you, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
Uh,
Thank you.
You're
I could,
welcome.
yeah, I could say really quickly. Well, we probably don't have much time. I will say really quickly. So I've had a series of dreams, and I've shared some of them with you, where I was naked, and the last night I dreamed I was wearing like a bra and like undies, but I wasn't wearing a shirt, and I was feeling a little self-conscious. And then, I had a dream that my ex was naked in a hotel room, or not a room in a hotel. And one other time I dreamed I was naked. And the other symbol is, I dreamed that someone had really sour breath, and I was thinking, ooh, and then last night I dreamed I I had bad breath. And to me, the breath of God, that's God, that's my spiritual integrity, perhaps. And so, of course, the nakedness the word in itself, it explains that I'm feeling naked, that something is being bared, right? And then the breath, the spirit. So I feel like maybe I'm not being true to something. And I might know what it is. I don't want to talk about it yet. But so one of my delving into New Year's resolutions, one of my New Year's resolution is to be more, I don't want to say have more integrity, because I feel like I have integrity, to be more present with the people in my life. And but that isn't really, well, I guess it's a New Year's resolution. I want to work out more. I want to exercise more, do my physical therapy and all of that more. Oh, and I have to stay away from dairy. It's just not even funny. I love it so much. And for years, I've known that I have a sensitivity and I get bloated. I just need to, nothing, no, completely, no, except Kerrygold butter, which is, I think that's really fine.
Okay, wait, I gotta just show you.
Okay. It's,
My
oh,
favorite.
my favorite. So,
Yeah, no, I hear
listening,
you. I hear you, and I will. Yeah, it's hard, the resolutions.
yeah,
It, it's like, I'm not, it's very harsh, even though I understand why, because you want your health, you want to feel good. And
yeah.
I feel
I
the same,
mean, how
way.
many millions of people worldwide make the resolution to exercise
Oh my
more?
God, I'm looking at myself here going, wow, I put on a fair amount of weight this year. I mean, I really did. And whatever. I'm not, I don't like it. I'm not
Right.
fitting into my clothes well. I
Yeah.
don't feel
Yeah.
comfortable with my body. So yes, of course I want to change that. But I
Of
think
course.
I could say certain foods too, like, no, that doesn't work for me at all. Don't do no sugar, no dairy, whatever. But I
Oh, the
know
sugar.
that's not going to happen. I
Yes.
absolutely 100% know that I'm not going to never have dairy or never have, So
Okay.
I think the thing about the word, the concept, oh, we've got 3 minutes. Okay.
Okay.
I'll just say, okay, I have a proposition, not a preposition. I have a proposition.
Tell me your proposition with a preposition.
In our next call, maybe we can do this before, I'd like to do this before New Year's, which is in a couple of days, but maybe we
Right.
can get together again here and just meditate on a word or a concept of something. Don't even think about what I want
Uh,
to change, what I want to do differently, what just just what is like when I came up with that pull forth, I didn't know what
yes.
I meant by that. I really didn't.
But
And
it's unlikely we're going to do that before New Year's. But please tell what our listeners and we can do with, only because my
that's it.
son,
I mean, I
yeah.
just said it. Just basically
But
like,
how do we find that word? Is it journaling? Is it meditation?
I mean, I guess I would sit in a meditation, just quiet meditation, and just
Yes.
kind of think about, maybe not think about, but just kind of have that like fresh start in a way, like in your mind, like a clean slate, clean snow, maybe just some kind of an imagery that is like, feeling into the future self. Maybe the future self vision is, how do I want to feel? How do I want to
Um,
be? How do I want to be in my year?
yes.
Not about what don't I want to do, or there's restrictions, or what I want to, lose weight, and we all want to do.
Yes.
Everyone, you're right.
Yes. Yes,
You just do that, like a little meditation, and then just allow a word to come. And yes, maybe journal, do a little journaling, and it could be a
yes.
word or a phrase, but very short and something that you can remember. Write it down, and that's your year thing.
And I also want to pick a angel card.
Which card?
An angel card. Have you seen the
Sure.
angel cards?
Angel
I'm
card.
just curious, what does the universe think?
I mean, I
But
think we could do this actually. I don't know. Well, anyway, I think we could do it before New Year's. I know it's only a couple days away, but
we could
we
do it New Year's Day if you're
New Year's
available.
Day. I could be available at some point during New Year's Day. I have a couple things
Okay,
going on, but
let's try to do that.
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
I don't see it getting, you know,
Busier.
published and
Oh, I see what you mean. Right.
yeah,
That's right, of course, because you have to work on that to get it done.
yes,
That's
yes.
okay. It doesn't have to be on the day.
Okay,
No big deal. Anyway, that's just something I really think is useful, and it's a little bit of a thing that I'm seeing out there. The word, it's like a word
yes,
because everyone is like down on New Year's resolutions because
yes.
we don't keep them up, and then we feel bad about ourselves, and that's the
And then we
worst.
make three like me, duh, and I even remember what they are when I'm talking to you and I haven't even, you know,
Yeah,
proposed them to the universe yet. Well,
yeah.
thank you, Ellen. I will definitely do that.